could call it the wave of the future, a new way to surf without ever going into the ocean.
About in '87 I started, and at the time I was surfing a lot, and I said, God, there's got to be another better way to do this.
Tom Lochtefeld is a developer in San Diego who already gave us raging waters. Now he's created this Flow Rider, a machine that shoots 100,000 gallons of water a minute up a padded slope, creating a 13-foot hollow wave. But what to call it?
We haven't developed a name yet for the sport because it is a combination of all the board sports: surfing, snowboarding, skateboarding.
But name or no name, it seems to be getting a big thumbs up.
This is the newest, coolest board sport going. We've got all the top guys from all the existing board sports from the last millennium, and this is the new one that's taking it into the future.
I think it's the most exciting thing I've done.
Some of the best board sport athletes in the world are gathering in Long Beach to show off the new Flow Rider.
The wave is constantly changing, you know, as you ride it.
This wave is the future of board riding sports because it can be done anywhere.
If you think it looks easy, take a second look.
Basically, it's a fiberglass form with essentially wrestling mat. And then the water that flows over that is only about 3 inches deep. So when you see guys go for a big air and take a hit, they're not falling into water.
Wow. Well, there we go. That was Kim Maldonado reporting. And that's going to do it for Live at 5 today.
We hope to see you back here tomorrow. Stay tuned for Dateline 29 News at 6.
A man charged with murder in Charlottesville is arrested in New York. We'll have the details.
The Trans-Dominion Express is stirring hope in Central Virginia.
And rules for cellular towers in Albemarle County are now in black and white. The news starts now.
This is Dateline 29 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Stacy Horst.
And I'm Dave Cupp. And our top story tonight, an alleged gang member accused of a Charlottesville murder is in custody tonight.
New York City police arrested Michael Sidbury while he was driving in Brooklyn. Sidbury is wanted in Charlottesville for the June shooting of James Monroe in the Blue Ridge Commons complex. Police say he's also wanted for murder in Pennsylvania. Sidbury was featured on America's Most Wanted last month for his alleged crimes and gang ties.
Yeah, we're very pleased that he's taken into custody, and we're also pleased that nobody got hurt because his reputation is that he's a very dangerous guy, and he's made statements that he wasn't going to go calmly when the police came to get him.
Sidbury will be extradited back to Charlottesville for the murder charge after he faces charges in other localities along the East Coast. Albemarle County prosecutors have refiled sexual battery and other charges against a former Charlottesville Police Department employee. Merritt Truslow was accused of molesting 2 teenage girls last year. The former community service officer had pleaded guilty to 2 non-sex-related offenses and received a $200 fine in September. One of the girls allegedly involved in the incident came forward after Truslow reached that agreement. His attorney has appealed, and a trial is set for June.
Deadbeat parents are now getting the boot in Central Virginia. Last month, state officials started a program using these metal boots to disable the vehicles of parents who owe child support. Now the program is being used in Albemarle County and Charlottesville. Sheriff's deputies locked this pink boot on a BMW yesterday. It's the first one put on in our area.
Well, I think it sends a very, very clear message that not only is the Commonwealth of Virginia going to withhold the driver's licenses of deadbeat parents, but also we're going to begin to levy on their vehicles.
Sheriff Robb says that all deadbeat parents can get the boot despite how much they owe. A morning fire raced through a Harrisonburg motel. It caused heavy damage but no injuries. The fire was discovered around 10:30 at the Ramada Inn on Pleasant Valley Road. The blaze quickly spread throughout the southwest wing of the motel through a 2-foot-wide access space that runs the length of the building.
When you get a fire in this void space, it exposes every room in this section of the building to some type of damage. Now, because it was in this void space and due to the extent of the fire, there is damage to virtually every room in this section of the building, upstairs and downstairs, from one end to the other.
The fire started after checkout time, so only a few motel guests had to be evacuated. Damage is likely to exceed $100,000. Well, as the General Assembly sets the biennium budget, they'll make decisions about the Trans-Dominion Express.
With funding from Richmond, an expanded passenger rail service could be implemented across the state. Orange County reporter Kay Young shows us why one town is excited about the possibilities.
Passenger trains could soon travel through Central and Southwest Virginia, connecting with routes to Richmond and Washington, D.C. And the town of Orange is slated as one of several stops.
Here in Orange, because first of all, we had it here years ago. It was a vital part of the community, and bringing it here now as part of the Trans-Dominion Express would greatly enhance the tourism aspects of our community.
And while aiding tourism across the state, this proposed rail service would also lend a hand to transportation concerns.
I think the total program's estimated cost is $18 million. Sounds like a lot of money, but when you consider the billions of dollars the state and the federal government would have to put into or adding another lane onto Interstate 81 or doing those type of improvements, it's really a relatively small amount of money.
And advocates of passenger rail in Orange say the proposal is cost-effective for simple reasons.
The infrastructure is there already, the tracks are there, they're currently utilized by Amtrak and the freight services. To implement this system should not be that difficult.
And with some help from the Virginia General Assembly, this depot will no longer just be a tourist attraction. It will be a place where people can purchase tickets for passenger rail service. In Orange County, Kay Young, Dateline 29 News.
And by the way, the General Assembly is expected to vote on a budget bill for passenger rail service later this session.
Albemarle planners sometimes spend years skirmishing with cellular phone companies about how and where cell towers should be built. Now a new manual of wireless designs sets down some guidelines in black and white. Amanda Hall tells us what it says.
What do you see here? A house? Some trees? How about a cellular tower? It's here, but it's hidden.
Hard and fast rule is we're trying to reduce the visual impact generated by these types of facilities.
Albemarle planners have come up with a manual of guidelines to keep cell towers from looking like this.
Do site them in areas where they can be hidden, like in trees. Don't site them in areas where they will be stark and stand out, like in open fields.
While there are some do's and don'ts, the manual's authors avoid saying any area is totally off limits. Instead, they have avoidance areas or opportunity sites. But an option like this one would rate lower than one hidden in a building, for instance. So what do cell companies have to say about all this? The design manual team says wireless companies have had input the whole time.
The established cellular companies were never used to doing this and never had this kind of regulation, and therefore they are opposed to it, and they will be opposed to it.
Albemarle's Planning Commission will have first crack at the cellular plan Tuesday night. In Albemarle County, Amanda Hall, Dateline 29 News.
We are jumping back on the old weather roller coaster, it looks like, as today's chill becomes tomorrow's milder forecast.
Robert's in the Weather Center with the details. Robert?
Hey, roller coaster rides are always fun, aren't they? Tomorrow we're going to be back in the 50s. Today we were in the 40s. We'll have a look at the week ahead, maybe some rain in our future, right after this.
This is my final plea. I am a gecko, not to be confused with Geico, which could save you hundreds on car insurance. So stop calling me.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Oh, I didn't want mail.
You don't have to sacrifice service to save money. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We've got a new Scott towel we think is pretty amazing. So we thought it made sense to test it under the toughest conditions.
We made a big mess.
Okay. You see, only new Scott towels have ridges, designed to pick up spills even quicker than you know who.
It's a winner! New Scott towels with ridges. Common sense on a roll.
It happens once a year. S&K Menswear's winter clearance sale with hundreds of fine quality suits like these at 2 for under $200. 100% wool designer suits for less than $200. Hundreds of handsome winter sport coats for $89.97. Dress shirts from $19.95. Pure silk ties for less than $15. And winter sportswear and outerwear reduced 20 to 50%. Don't miss the winter clearance sale going on now at S&K. We're America's men's store.
in Charlottesville at Albemarle Square Shopping Center and 2 locations in Fredericksburg.
As president of the ASPCA, I'm very concerned with the welfare of animals. For my dogs, I use invisible fencing pet protection. If you let your pets out to play, give them the freedom and safety of invisible fencing pet containment. Anything less would be cruel.
Over 1 million dogs stand behind it. Invisible Fence. It works indoors and out, and it's veterinarian approved. Call for a free demonstration and estimate. Ask about the 1-year money-back guarantee and lifetime warranty. Invisible Fence.
The new Dodge Neon is heavy on standard features, including a 16-valve engine and 4-wheel independent suspension, along with theater-style lighting, 4 cup holders, an integrated tissue holder, and tons of other creature comforts. Get 0.9 financing for 60 months or a $1,000 cash allowance on Dodge Neon.
Tonight, an all-new Will and Grace. The moment you thought you'd never see. What does it all mean? Won't Jack be a little weirded out?
Weirded out? I tried disgusted.
Will everyone manage to stay calm?
That's on NBC Valentine's Tuesday.
Then,
Dateline Tuesday. Born a son, but raised as a daughter. Years later, the truth. The incredible story of what happened next. An all-new Dateline tonight.
Kind of an interesting day today. Your temperatures really were a direct relation to how much cloud cover you saw. Here's an example statewide. The sun was out most of the day down in Danville and down in Southwest Virginia. It's still 45 degrees in Danville. Cloud cover in Central Virginia was persistent, and even up in D.C., it's still only 35 degrees, so quite a big temperature spread across the state. Across the country now, for the next several days, we're going to see a pretty active storm track sort of bisect the United States. Right in the middle of the United States, we're going to see an active storm track continue to push low-pressure systems toward us. But the news for us with this pattern is that the cold air, the really cold stuff, is going to be a little farther north than it was last week. The milder air will have more of a chance to work its way to Virginia. So I believe that with this system, our next weather maker will most likely be a rain situation for us by Friday and Saturday, not snow. Currently across the area right now, let's start off with Charlottesville's temps. It's 43 degrees, 46% humidity. Southeast winds, barometer at 30.44. Daytime high today up to 44 degrees. And again, the cloud cover played a big role in your temperatures today. Some of my weather watchers only reported upper 30s this afternoon, while some folks got into the mid to lower 40s. 45 and 26 are the average temperatures. For the valley, 39 degrees, 57% humidity. Southeast winds and the barometer at 30.41. We'll start off with that look across the country. Here you can see sort of a pretty broad area of low pressure and cloud cover across the west. This is a piece of energy, if you will. It will be moving across the United States. High pressure right now is keeping our skies mostly clear, but we're going to take a closer look at that in a second. I'll show you the cloud cover. And an interesting little low off the coast of South Carolina. This should likely stay just on the coast and not bother us with any precipitation, but it'll be close. So if you're headed down to the beach for some reason in the next couple days, it's probably going to be a little rainy down in through there. Look at this. Look right through here. Here we are, Central Virginia. Check it out as I pull the loop back. There you can see the cloud cover across the state, the only place with clouds in Central Virginia in the valley. And again, playing an interesting little pattern with the temperatures. For tomorrow, we're going to see the low off the coast of South Carolina drift slowly to the north. It'll keep cloud cover and rain along the coast, but in inland areas, I think, will be influenced by this high pressure center tomorrow. And with that in control, skies should be mostly sunny, and we'll get a southwest wind, which will boost our temperatures back up into the 50s tomorrow afternoon. So Monday we were in the 50s, today we're in the 30s and 40s, tomorrow back up into those 50s again, and you can see the cold air, the really cold stuff, remains well to the north of us. That's the pattern that we're going to see for the next couple of days. So looking into the future for Thursday, a few clouds. Here comes the next weather maker moving across that storm track I showed you right here in the central part of the country. So as this gets closer to us Friday and Saturday, chance of rain showers, but the next couple of days should be pretty nice for you. Here's your forecast then for tonight. 26 degrees, clear and cold this evening. Temperatures will be either side of the mid-20s. And for tomorrow, back up to 54 degrees, a little taste of spring under mostly sunny skies, mild southwest winds at 10. 5-day forecast coming up in a minute. First, the valley, 53 degrees, sunny and pleasant. There's that 5-day. It shows you that the weather should take a little turn for the cloudy, if you will, and rainy skies on Friday and Saturday. The sunshine will come back, though, by the end of the weekend. So we still have that little system that we'll deal with on. But right now, I'm thinking no snow, which is good. You know, I don't think many people will complain about that.
No. You won't hear any complaints on
I think we've had a decent winter so far. We can deal with No more snowstorms.
Yeah, that would be fine by me.
All right.
Hunky, if not Dory. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Robert.
A battle over a proposed truck stop in Augusta County is headed to round 2. We'll have the latest.
Plus, restoring voting rights to nonviolent felons drew a crowd to Capitol Square today. That story when Dateline 29 News continues.
Right now at McDonald's, a fresh hot egg McMuffin is just 99 cents. Just look at that melted cheese, that toasted English muffin. Bet you wish you looked this good in the morning. A fresh hot egg McMuffin is just 99 cents. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Our parents and our schools and our citizens ought to have high expectations for every child.
George W. Bush's education plan is hailed as remarkable for its bold conservatism.
The best way to have the best school system is to have programs emanate from the local level.
Bush's plan calls for teaching character in the classroom. His plan holds schools accountable, blows the whistle on failure, gives parents more choices, and focuses on teaching all children to read.
Every parent wants their child to get the very best.
Are the comics here yet?
Nope, just the front page. And leisure. Thanks.
Remind you of the way you get phone service?
Sports is here.
Getting everything from different places? Well, now you don't have to. With Sprint Solutions, you can get local service, our best calling features, plus 100 minutes of any distance, anytime calling. All for one flat price, just $33.95 a month. Call 1-8771-SOLUTION and get it all from one place with Sprint Solutions.
Tired of running all over town looking for the perfect gift? Visit Quilts Unlimited, Charlottesville's premier American handcrafts gallery, featuring metal fountains and wall sculptures, wood boxes, games, and clocks, handcrafted jewelry, including work by Linda Vanderlinda, kaleidoscopes and Vera Bradley handbags, and of course, antique and new quilts. Our Millmont Street location is open 10 to 6 Monday through Saturday, and our location on the downtown mall is open 7 days a week, Friday and Saturday till 9.
Paul Obaugh Ford in Stanton wants to give you some cash. That's right, check out these deals. Like this 1999 Ford Taurus, $1,500 cash to customer. 2000 Ford ZX2, $1,500 cash to customer. And the 2000 Ford Windstar SE, $1,000 cash to customer. And check out the 2000 Chrysler Town & Country van, $1,500 cash to customer. Paul Obaugh Ford is the place to shop for new and used cars, with a reputation for superior products, sales, parts, and repair service. Paul Obaugh Ford, Greenville Avenue, Stanton.
Right now at McDonald's, a fresh hot egg McMuffin is just 99 cents. Just look at that melted cheese, that toasted English muffin. Bet you wish you looked this good in the morning. A fresh hot egg McMuffin is just 99 cents. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Well, the next round is coming up in the battle over a proposed truck stop in Augusta County.
Tonight, Gary Smith examines Pilot's expansion plans and how the pressures of development are forcing action in another Virginia county.
The Pilot Corporation makes no secret of its aggressive expansion plan to increase its nationwide network of travel centers from 132 to 265 and double its annual sales from the current $2 billion to $4 billion by 2003. Pilot is chasing the country's largest truck stop chain, Travel Centers of America, with 162 sites nationwide. The competition between two industry giants, neighbors on Route 11 in Botetourt County, contributes to the traffic volume that chokes the Charlottesville exit off Interstate 81. VDOT is proposing a $75 million construction plan that would expand the interstate and reconfigure the congested exit.
You can't make changes to a main road without looking at the effects on the other roads.
The new design of exit 150 will mean much more traffic here on the 220 corridor. VDOT plans to widen this road to 8 lanes. But the Botetourt County Board of Supervisors is concerned about the loss of existing businesses and potential business sites. The supervisors say 6 lanes should do it. Pilot plans to spend $4 to $5 million to build a travel center on 10 acres off the interstate near Greenville. Those plans have been delayed by VDOT concerns.
What we have in place as far as intersections, signals, and even entrances into some of these businesses, all that needs to be looked at, particularly the entrances to the Pilot facility.
Pilot is working on a response to VDOT's long list of traffic and long-range planning concerns. Pilot has decided not to bring its request for a special use permit before the Board of Zoning Appeals in March. The next possible date for the next chapter and the long-running battle is April the 6th. In Augusta County, Gary Smith, Dateline 29 News.
Efforts to simplify the process of restoring voting rights to former felons are gaining public support. More than 50 people turned out for a rally on that issue in Capitol Square today. They say nonviolent felons should be able to regain their voting rights when they finish their time in prison.
There are people here who believe in lifetime punishment for a mistake. That is not the American way.
We are told that, no, we don't want to have people voting again when they paid their debt to society. Why? I don't know, because I guess once you've made a mistake, you've always made a mistake. Once a felon, always a felon.
Currently, only the governor can restore a former felon's voting rights, but many complain that the process is just too complicated.
A proposal to change Virginia's seatbelt laws continues to wind through the legislature. A measure that would allow the police to pull you over for not wearing your seatbelt has won approval in the state Senate. It passed by a vote of 22 to 17. It's currently against the law to drive without your seatbelt, but the police can't stop you for it. Next stop for the bill, the House of Delegates. Well, next in sports, Tiger Woods talks about his amazing victory at Pebble Beach.
And John recaps last night's Cavalier women's basketball game against UNC.
Right now, during the Ford President's Day sales event, get spectacular savings on new Ford cars, trucks, SUVs, and minivans. Now's the time to buy. With low financing, like low 0.9%, or big cash back as high as $1,500. All around, the President's Day sales event at your local Ford dealer is like nothing you've ever seen.
There's so much to see with thermal swing.
I'm Andre Viette. Vinyl replacement windows come in two choices, tilt windows or thermal swing. If you demand security and convenience from your windows, find out why we say
The swing is a clear advantage. Thermal swing.
Hey, Steve. Yeah? I'm busting out.
What do you mean?
I'm climbing the walls, man. I can't eat this food one more day.
Me either.
I got a plan. Are you in?
Yeah.
I got a car waiting outside. Let's go.
At Old Country Buffet, lunch is everything from soup and salad to pasta and chicken. With over 60 items to choose from, it's never the same old thing.
I'm never going back there. It's 1:45. Oh, okay.
Nobody can sell you a new Chevrolet or Oldsmobile for less than Jim Price. Jim Price wants to start something with rebate, discount, finance savings, up to $5,000, plus a $500 GM owner loyalty rebate, financing as low as 2.9%. Get brand new 2000 Chevy S10 pickups as low as $11,988. Jim Price says we'll be there with hundreds of Silverado and S10 pickups, Chevy Tahoe, Suburban, Astro, and Venture Van. And now, Oldsmobile, Bravada, and Silhouette. That's Jim Price Chevrolet Olds, Route 29 North next to Walmart, where the price is always right.
Next time, call an expert. Call Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood plumber.
I'm often asked what makes Jeopardy so popular. Our team of writers and researchers, and of course our amazing contestants, make Jeopardy the phenomenon it is. Hey, it's not just a game, it's Jeopardy! Weeknights at 7:30 on NBC 29.
John Havey joins us now with the sad final chapter of a story that began some time ago.
Yeah, Derek Thomas.
Yep, you know, we sit on this desk a lot and get to tell a lot of fun stories about sports, and then there's stories like the one today. Now, back on January 23rd, Kansas City Chiefs star linebacker Derek Thomas was involved in a car crash which killed one of his best friends and left Thomas with a broken spine and neck. But after successful surgery 2 weeks ago, doctors were hopeful that the 9-time All-Pro would one day walk again. But tragically, that day will never arrive as Thomas died this morning following a cardiac arrest at Jackson Memorial Hospital near Miami. Thomas's doctors aren't sure what triggered the heart attack, and Chiefs officials said word of his death came as a complete shock because the 33-year-old had been in such good spirits lately. Flags at Arrowhead Stadium, where the Chiefs played, parade flew at half-staff today, and the Missouri State Legislature paused this morning for a moment of silence to honor one of the greatest players in not just Kansas City's history, but the NFL's as well.
After every game, he would walk across the field with a smile on his face, not because the Chiefs won, but because that's what he was. And that's how I'll always, always remember him.
It's just very hard to shake off. It's just, the only thing I can say really is God rest his soul, because he gave a lot to the community. He gave back, and by giving back, he'll always be remembered by young people in his Third and Long Foundation and the various other charities that he helped out in.
Thomas was a lot of fun to watch out on the field. To basketball now, where there's something special about the rivalry between Debbie Ryan's 22nd-ranked Cavalier women and North Carolina. The Cavs and the Heels had to go to overtime to settle things last night, the 4th time in their last 8 meetings that has happened, including the last 3 times in Chapel Hill. Now, Virginia looked like they were going to run away with the ball game early in the second half. Talisha Quarles just on fire. She had a team-high 19 points, and then watch Quarles to Sky LaRue underneath. 16 points and 12 rebounds on the night for Sky, and the Cavs were up by 10, but that's when Nikki Teasley took over. She missed the first meeting between these two schools, and this time she was going to get her money's worth there with the steal and the layup, and then check out the three-pointer from the top of the key. That brought the Heels within a couple, and this game would go to overtime, tied at 57 apiece. In the OT, Cavs down by 3 with 10 seconds to play, and they can't get a shot off. So UNC wins 66-63. UVA falls to 9-2 in the ACC, but they can't dwell on this loss for long. Cavs are at home on Thursday night to take on FSU. Now to golf, where Tiger Woods may be only 24 years old, but he's already one of the greats of the game. Yesterday, he came from 7 shots down with 7 holes to play to win the Pebble Beach National Pro-Am, shooting a 64 in his final round. That's the lowest final round in the tourney's 53-year history. And he picked up his 6th straight PGA Tour victory, something that hasn't been done in 52 years. Now, even after all that, Tiger was typically diplomatic when asked which win in this mythical run was his favorite.
I don't know. They're all different. Each one was different and difficult in their own right, whether it was emotional or having to hold off some tough competitors or the crowds, or this week it happened to be the greens in the weather. But I don't know what to say. It was just one of those weeks where I played solid all week.
Plus, all those wins came with a really big paycheck. Now to baseball, where even though Pete Rose got a great ovation during the World Series when he was honored as a member of the game's all-century team, he's still on the outs as far as the commissioner's office is concerned. This summer, the Cincinnati Reds will be having a celebration to mark the 25th anniversary of their 1975 World Series triumph, and Rose was a member of that big red machine. But Bud Selig said today that Rose will not be able to join his teammates for the festivities. Rose, of course, was banned from baseball as part of an agreement he made with former Commissioner Bart Giamatti after it came out that Rose bet on baseball while he was a manager. And Selig said that unless new evidence is presented proving Rose's innocence, his banishment will not be lifted. Of course, it's Tuesday night. That means high school hoops. We'll have a ton of games from all over Central Virginia tonight at 11.
Sounds good. Thanks, John. We'll be right back.
Okay, it's time for a Sweepstakes 2000 prize drawing. Check it out, folks. I got a brand new bin. Mix all these things up. There's so many entries, I had to get a bigger contest bin. Here we go. We're going to give away a $100 shopping spree right now at Giant Food Store in Charlottesville. This $100 shopping spree goes to Diane Morris. Diane Morris. It looks like pamphlet? Anyway, Diane Morris, you've got 29 minutes to call and claim your prize. Numbers on your screen. I'll be back tomorrow with more prize drawings.
When we redesigned Dodge Neon, we gave it a longer wheelbase and more total interior volume. Not to mention a 132-horse, 16-valve engine, 4-wheel independent suspension, theater-style lighting, 4 cup holders, a speaker stereo, and tons of other good stuff. Get 0.9 financing for 60 months or a $1,000 cash allowance on Dodge Neon.
Tonight, women and stress. Why does it affect women more than men? New information, surprising answers for you and your family. NBC Nightly News tonight.
Dreaming of a Disney cruise vacation?
Then get to McDonald's now for the extraordinarily tasty Big Extra sandwich, our newest, biggest burger, or one of your other McDonald's favorites, and you could win one of hundreds and hundreds of unforgettable Disney cruise vacations. Who gives you the chance to win the vacation of your dreams and a lifetime of memories? Did somebody say McDonald's?
On NBC Nightly News, a special series, Tonight, Women and Stress. Why does it affect women more than men?
They're oftentimes silent about their suffering.
The special risks to a woman's health.
It affects their heart.
New information, surprising answers for you and your family. Don't miss NBC Nightly News Tonight.
Dateline Tuesday. Born a son, but raised as a daughter. Years later, the truth. The incredible story of what happened next. An all-new Dateline Tonight.
Closed captioning for this Dateline 29 newscast is brought to you through a grant from Wolf and Farmer, attorneys concentrating in Social Security disability cases.
Coming up on the next Live at 5, did you know that the type of snack foods you eat may be a window to your personality?
Well, one researcher says certain personalities prefer certain snack foods. We'll tell you what your snacking habits say about you. That's coming up Wednesday on Live at 5. So we're going to find out the secrets of your inner soul.
Looks like a warmer day tomorrow with just a few clouds. Not a bad forecast.
Okay, NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw starts now. That's it for us. Thanks for watching.
See ya.
What really happened? Radar showing Alaska Air 261 may have been falling apart before the final plunge. Truth lies in the GOP race for president. 24 hours of open warfare on the campaign trail. In depth, solving a critical problem for children and working parents. Good, affordable child care. The obstacles getting worse. And our Lifeline series, Women's Health, tonight, careers, family, and stress.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. It now appears the MD-83 airliner that was Alaska Air Flight 261 actually lost a critical piece before the final crash, and that could have pushed the airliner into a terrifying death spiral into the sea. The National Transportation Safety Board, after studying radar images of the plane in its final moments, made that announcement today. And so we have two reports tonight on the crash and what pilots are expected to do now. First, NBC's Robert Hager.
Investigators say more than a half hour after the stricken flight first had trouble with its stabilizer, at the very end, key parts of the plane may have ripped off, and that may be what finally sent it spiraling into the sea. The radar track shows two sharp descents in the last 12 minutes. The first from 31,000 feet cruise altitude. How fast is it falling? NTSB Chairman James Hall.
7,000 feet per minute, more than 3 times the typical rate of descent from cruise flight.
Then the pilots get it partially under control, another 10 minutes, until there's a loud noise, and that may be when the parts come off.
The final descent from 17,900 feet lasted just over 1 minute.
Another radar track looking down helps explain. Here's where that last noise occurs. Now, as the plane makes its final plunge this way, radar picks up something else, floating off with the wind in the opposite direction.
Might be indicative, and I emphasize might be indicative, of something coming off Flight 261 at this point.
If so, that could have made the plane impossible to fly. Investigators say just before the end, the pilots were trying to set up the plane for an emergency landing. That meant lowering the slats here and the flaps here. They had to do that to land. But the problem was they also had to fly faster than normal to counteract